my gosh, look at this! The new Millennium Falcon set! I cannot wait to build this!
Hey everyone, welcome! In the massive, ever-expanding world of LEGO, every single brick we click together, every set we build, well, it tells a story. But what's really interesting is that the sets we choose, the ones we really truly desire, they tell a story about us. So let's just ask the big question right up front. What does your LEGO collection, or maybe just your dream wish list, really say about who you are as a collector? Today, we're going to dive into some of the most sought-after sets out there and see what they reveal about the people who build them. All right, here's our game plan. We're going to explore 4 main types of collectors. The aesthetic, who's all about building beauty. The world builder, obsessed with epic scale. The engineer, who loves a good mechanism. And the iconist, who's basically collecting culture itself. Then we'll try and figure out what your ultimate LEGO Grail is.
So, first up, the aesthete. This is the collector who sees LEGO as more than a toy. To them, it's straight up an art form, a sculpture.
Yeah, for the aesthete, it's all about the visual impact. They're looking for sets that are just so stunning, so elegant, that they can be displayed as a centerpiece in their home. We're talking about models that command attention just by existing.
And honestly, there is no better example of this than the Icons Rivendell set. With over 6,000 pieces, a lot of people are calling it one of the most beautiful sets LEGO has ever designed. I mean, look at those autumnal colors, the incredible elven architecture. It's less of a playset and more like a little piece of Middle-earth you can put on your shelf.
But an aesthete's taste can go in different directions, right? You might be drawn to the sprawling, organic beauty of Rivendell, which takes up a ton of shelf space and creates this whole landscape. Or maybe you prefer the tall, moody, gothic romance of the Beauty and the Beast castle. It uses a totally different vibe, deep purples and blues to tell its story. Both are art, just for different moods and different spaces.
Okay, next up, let's talk about the collector with some serious ambition, the world builder. These are the folks who look at a dining room table and don't see a place to eat. They see a potential battlefield for the Battle of Hoth. World builders are never satisfied with just one ship or a single building. Oh no, they need fleets. They need cities. Their whole goal is to create these huge, immersive scenes that tell a much bigger story, where every set is just one piece of a grander vision. So, for a Star Wars world builder, a massive centerpiece is absolutely non-negotiable. And let me tell you, the UCS Venator doesn't just sit on a shelf. At 109 centimeters long, this thing pretty much demands its own postal code. And if the Venator commands the skies, well, the UCS AT-AT absolutely dominates the ground. It stands at a whopping 62 centimeters tall, but the real magic here is the scale. It's designed to hold 40 snowtroopers inside. It's not just a model, it's a full-on troop transport for your minifigure army. This means the world builder has a pretty big choice to make. Do you focus on the Clone Wars, with the sleek arrowhead design of the Venator as your anchor? Or are you all about the original trilogy, recreating ground assaults with the towering, mechanical brute force of the AT-8? Each one is the cornerstone of a totally different universe you can build. But hey, world building isn't just about Star Wars. For the city planners out there, the new crown jewel is for sure the Natural History Museum. It's the very first modular building to break that 4,000-piece barrier. And because it's wider than a standard base plate, it instantly becomes this commanding anchor for any LEGO city street. All right, let's shift gears, literally. Our next collector type is the engineer. For them, a pretty shell is nice, but the real magic? It's what's happening on the inside. We're talking gears, levers, and all those clever mechanisms. The engineer doesn't just want to build something. They want to know how it works. They are fascinated by models that move, that have some kind of function. For them, the build process itself is the reward. Getting to see how the designers came up with these genius solutions to make things move and work. And oh man, does this illustrate the engineer's dream, the mighty Bowser. This isn't just a static figure, it's a masterpiece of mechanical puppetry. You can actually reach inside the shell to control his head and neck. You press a button to open his mouth and launch a fireball. It's a set that is meant to be played with. It's the perfect fusion of form and function. And for the engineer who craves pure realism, you have the legendary and sadly now retired Technic Cat D11 bulldozer. This thing is an absolute beast, controlled entirely by an app. You're not just building a model, You are operating a piece of heavy machinery, from tilting the blade to raising and lowering the ladder. It's just pure functional perfection.
Okay, our final collector type is the iconist. Now, this collector isn't just buying bricks, they're buying memories. They are curating a physical library of the stories, characters, and franchises that have defined their lives. For the iconist, the value of a set is tied directly to how powerful its source material is. They want to own a piece of their favorite movie, a symbol from a video game they grew up with. It's about having a tangible connection to the fiction they love. Each set is like a little totem of nostalgia.
And these icons, they come in all shapes and sizes. Just look at the piece counts here. A grail for a Nintendo fan might be the nearly 2,000-piece Mario Kart, or maybe the nearly 3,000-piece Bowser. But for a die-hard Star Wars fan, that icon could be the truly massive UCS AT-AT, with a piece count that just dwarfs the others. Each one is a cultural touchstone, just on a different scale. For an iconist, having that collector's intel is everything. Let's take the UCS Venator again. So first thing, it's retiring at the end of 2026, which creates that sense of urgency. But the real kicker is the exclusive Captain Rex minifigure. This one little figure, with its unique arm printing, is already selling for over 2,500 new Taiwan dollars on its own. So for an iconist, owning this set isn't just about the ship, it's about owning the definitive version of a beloved character before he's gone forever. So we've looked at collectors who chase beauty, who chase scale, who chase function, and who chase nostalgia. Which brings us all the way back to the main question. What does all this mean for your collection?
Which one of these collector types really speaks to you? Are you an aesthete, dreaming of building Rivendell? A world builder, already planning a city around that museum? Maybe you're an engineer, dying to figure out Bowser's inner workings. Or an iconist, hunting down that Captain Rex figure before it's too late. Maybe you're a little bit of all of them. But no matter what kind of collector you are, there is one final universal challenge that truly unites us all. And it's not about the money, and it's not about the piece count. It's finding the shelf space, a problem that every single one of us, from the aesthetic to the engineer, knows all too well. Thanks for joining me.